Hi there, welcome to NextGenQA. What if two AI agents could work on your project at the same time? No conflicts, no waiting, no switching branches manually. That's exactly what I'm going to show you today. I'm Samaj, and this is the very first video in our B10X AI series on NextGenQA. The series is built specifically for engineers who want to use AI in their actual workflows, not just theory. Real tools, real problem, real results. Today, we are going to cover Claude Code's native Git work tree. This is to support on a real Selenium Java project. One agent writing new test, another fixing a bug, both running simultaneously. The code will be available on GitHub repo, which the link is in the description.
Okay guys, so let's get started. As we have discussed in the intro, I will be covering about Claude Git Workflows. Okay, so let's open the PPT first so that I can explain the concept once and then we will cover the rest of the things via code. So how exactly Claude Code Git Worktrees work? That you can run parallel AI agents without having any merge conflicts. So this is the whole idea behind. So what is usual workflow for us is that if you are working about without work trees and let's say you are working on a login test but then there are some bug reported on let's say checkout test. Okay, so what essentially we do, we stop your login work by stashing the git commits and then fix, go to other branch, then do their check-ins, and then we start the fixing of bug commit and then switching backs. So in order to do these things, but with work trees, what is going to happen is that you can work on parallel features. So in terminal one, let's say you are working on two features. One is login test, other is checkout test. So what you can do is you can create Claude work tree on one login test and other Claude work tree on checkout test. Those will be isolated work trees and Claude will be running separately on those work trees, having the idea of only login test, and another tree will be having idea of checkout test. Both the agents are going to run simultaneously. Each will work in its own isolated folder. I'll also show how the isolated folder looks like. And then there would be no stashing, no switching. There won't be any conflicts as well. Claude will handle everything internally. I'll also walk you through the code, but let's understand it first how it's actually going to work. Okay. So worktree is what I have explained, that edits in worktree A don't appear in worktree B. So full isolation, there will be no stepping upon each other, and every worktree is going to have its own unique branch. Okay, so two worktrees won't be sharing the same branch, and at the end of the day, both the branches will be merged into your master branch so that there won't be any conflict and it will be going to work flawlessly. Okay. So now coming on to the next thing, which is I essentially explain the same thing, that one-time setup is necessary. You have to set up your Git repository. So basically Git init is necessary for Claude tree to work. It's without Git tree, it won't work. So after this, what we are going to do is we will be starting our Git initialize the Git directories. Then we will be opening one terminal, ask Claude to work on a certain feature. In the second terminal, we will ask Claude Worktree to work on the second feature. And then we can also check how many active trees we are having. Okay. So let's try to understand this with a complete project. I have created a simple Selenium 4 plus TestNG and Maven project. Simple page object model. There is one login page, where is one checkout page. And then we will be creating two work trees. We will be running both of them in parallel. You will see that there are no conflicts as such, and Claude will work flawlessly in both the work trees. Okay. So let me just open the project. I will give you a quick walkthrough of the project. So this is my simple base class. Here in the base class, you can see that I have just initialized the driver, then after method for tear down methods. There is one checkout page and one there is login page. Okay. So these pages are essentially containing the @test method in the test portion. And if you go to the main directory, here we have defined the pages. So this is base page, and this is again having the checkout page with all the methods which are there. And essentially we are calling the methods in the test cases. So this is the typical page object model. I hope people are pretty aware of it. If not, then please, I would suggest to just read a bit about page object model in case you get any confusion. do reach out to me. I'll explain the concept once again. Okay. So this is the whole concept. And now let's try to see how we can execute it one by one. I've also created a directory, steps.md, in order to explain these steps in a very clean manner. Of course, you can refer this as steps.md. It will be present in the GitHub repository where I'll be pushing the code so that you can refer back if you want to revise the concept. So first thing first, we need to initialize our Git repository. This is something which is pretty essential to make Claude Code Worktrees work. Okay. So I'll simply do git init. It will initialize a simple repository. .git is created. And then I will be just adding all the files as such, and then I will be doing my initial commit. So these steps are necessary to just make sure that okay, our git first init is at least done. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'll be going through the test. Let me show you the test first so that you can get an idea what is pending. So here you can see, let me just maximize this a bit so that it becomes more visible. And let me just pull the terminal a bit down. Okay, so I'm on the login page test. Here you can see in the login page test, this is a login page test extend base class. And here you can see that this is a pending method. So to do is complete this test, and it is runtime is showing runtime exception as of now. I have just put it as to do. So this is not yet been implemented. And then there is second test. This is also not been implemented. It is empty with to do. Okay. Now coming on to the checkout page test. Here you can see in the checkout page test, this is again simple class. The first @test is there. The other test 2, this is the failing test. So I have introduced a failure here. So basically the failure is something which we will ask the Claude to fix in the work tree, and then we will merge the changes. And in the third test case is there, this is again simply getting passed. So these are the tests which are there. And now what we are going to do is we are going to create our work trees because we have initialized the Git repository already. Let me just clear it out. And in the phase 2, I'm going to open 2 terminal for 2 work trees. So let me just open the first terminal. This is my first terminal. Let me just rename it as T1. Let me just move this window a bit up. Okay, I'm just making this terminal as T1. Okay, looks good. And let's start my first work tree. So I'm initializing the first work tree. This is for login test essentially. So I've initialized this. Okay, my Claude code is launched and the work tree feature login test is created. So as soon as I hit this command, you can see there is .claude directory. In the Claude directory, there is work tree folder. In this work tree folder, if you will see that it is having feature login test. So what essentially has happened, it has automatically created a branch work tree feature login test. It has also created the folder inside the .claude directory work trees feature login test. And Claude Code automatically launched to the scope of this particular folder. Okay. Now launching an other terminal to work on the checkout ones. So in the terminal 2, let's say I rename this again to T2. Okay, this is good. Now launching the terminal 2 for checkout test. So let me just copy this and hitting. And now you can see in the work trees, I have 2. One is feature login test and the other fixed checkout test. So these are my 2 work trees which are automatically created. Again, the same steps: create branch work tree fixed checkout test, Claude work tree fixed checkout test, launches Claude code scope to that folder. If you want to verify how many branches we have now, so I'm coming to the main terminal. Let's say I do git branch. You can see that 2 branches are created: feature login test, fixed checkout test. Okay, so this is good. Now in the terminal 1, because I want to do the test method, I want to ask Claude to complete the test method present in login page test.java. So I'll be simply asking Claude to do this. So what I have given the prompt as, it's a simple one that complete all the to do test method in login page test.java using the login page and homepage objects. Test site is this, and valid credentials I have also given. Okay. Let's ask the Claude to work on this in the T1 and in the terminal 2, because I want to fix the checkout page. So I am giving the prompt test. There is a failing test in checkout page test.java. Investigate what is wrong, explain the bug clearly, and fix it. This is something I'm going to give in the second work tree. Okay. So I have given the command here as well. Let me just push this. In the T1, it is asking for permission. Let's give all the permissions here. And in the T2, as of now, it has not asked any permission. So let it do its job. Okay. So both to-do tests are now implemented. So first one, it has already fixed. And let's go to terminal 2. It's asking for permission. Let's skip the permissions. Okay. So it has also fixed the second one. So both the work trees job is done. Now I'm coming on to the next thing, which is verifying the Claude work. So in the terminal one, because we have launched the login page test, we have asked to fix the login page test. So I'm just executing my test, dtest, login page test, mvn test, dtest, login page test, and see if everything is working fine. The Claude has done the job properly. Okay. So I'm just launching this. And let's see our test cases are getting passed or not. Okay. And in the terminal 2, where I have asked to fix the checkout page test, I will just give the permission. And in the second one, I will ask for the checkout page test. Okay. Assuming Claude has worked and done the job. So let's see whether both the tests are getting passed or not. Okay. So it is running it. It is running all the test login page test. Let's see if our tests are getting passed or not. It will give us the output. So it's again asking for the permission. Let's give it. Okay. So let's see. In the T1, this test are still running. And you can see my browser is opening also and everything is working fine. So it is launching the page. It is doing the insertion and rest of the things. There are multiple browser getting launched because 2 tests are getting executed. Okay. So let it do the job. So you can see in the first one, in terminal 1, it has given that all 3 tests are passed, build is successful. Okay. Let's see on the T2 what is happening. Is it working fine for the checkout page test? Again, you can see that all the 3 tests are passed. CDP warnings are harmless because this is just some Chrome and driver versus Chrome browser mismatch. Okay. So this is fine. Now, once both the things are being done, now we have to commit the changes in each work tree. So what I'm going to do is Claude is going to make the changes, but it does not auto commit. Okay. So we have to commit the each work tree before merging. Okay. So because my Claude code is working inside this work tree only, I can even ask Claude to do the commits, but let us do that by ourselves. Okay. So let me just exit the Claude from terminal 1 as of now. So let me just keep the work tree. Okay. And it has exited. And now what I'm going to do is I will be going to that directory of work tree. Okay. So once I reach this directory, let me just add my commit, whatever Claude has changed. Okay. And let me just also do the commit. Okay. So now my commit is done. And if you will see on the terminal, where am I as of now? You get branch. So you can see we are on work tree feature login test branch. Okay. Similarly, in the terminal 2, let's exit here. Keep the work tree. And then in the terminal 2, I'm again going to do my commits. Okay. So I've went to the directory. Let me just clear it out to say it better. And then I'm just adding my commit. And this is my commit. Okay. So this is done also. Now, once we have committed the changes, then what we need to do is we need to merge everything to back to main branch. So this will be pretty simple. We are already in the first terminal. We are already at the master branch, I believe. Let's just double check. So you can see git branch is there. Also, one thing, if you really want to see how many work trees we have, so this is something you can do via this. So git work tree list. So here you can see we have two work trees. One is login test, other one is checkout test. Okay. Now, because we have checked out the master, I just want to merge the changes back to login test and checkout test into master branch view. Okay. So you can see fast forward check is being done and this is done, and git merge checkout test also must. Okay. So it is asking for the commit message. Okay. So this is done now, and you can see the commit is done. Okay. Now just verify back again to whether our tests are implemented or not. So you can see in my login page test, the to do is already completed. Okay, all the tests are completed. So this is the beauty of Claude Worktree, that without doing any stash, unstash, anything, we were able to work parallelly on two features. We committed the changes, automatically they got merged with fast forwards, and everything worked flawlessly. So we don't have to save the changes, switch to another branch, come to another branch, then do the changes. So these are the things which can really be useful with the help of spawning our agent across multiple branches with the help of Claude Worktrees. So I hope this tutorial is useful. We are in the starting phase of B10X series. So I'll be covering more and more video. If you really like the video, please subscribe the channel and share the videos with your friends and family as well.